Hello, this is Roland. Welcome. First of all, I just wanted to say how grateful I am to be here. This is Thanksgiving Day 2018. Some little notes. First of all, I've been making some good videos lately. Not a lot of them, but the ones I'm making are good. And my radio programs, I think they're just exquisite. They're very good. And I think it would be good for you to listen to them. And I also want to mention my new book, A Walk on the Spiritual Side. It's a beautiful book. It's on Amazon. And it's also, and it's in Kindle or quality paperback, either one. Just wanted to show it to you. Here it is. A Walk on the Spiritual Side. Beautiful book. The full title is A Walk on the Spiritual Side, Finding Purpose and Joy in Life. That's the way you might need to search it when you go to Amazon. A Walk on the Spiritual Side, Finding Purpose and Joy in Life. So it would be nice to get the book or to preview it. Listen to my videos and my radio program, because I'm beginning to see how the life that most people live, 99.9% of people, unless they find salvation from it, it's a life it's like a dog-eat-dog world. They walk around in a dream state, hypnotic state, and feed off of each other. All the little things that people do to irritate you, and which you do to them, to get your energy back. All the little things people do to confuse you, to irritate you, to excite you, to interest you. It's all because they thereby get energy from you. Most people eventually come down to a life of getting energy from others and living off of it. People live off of each other and drain each other. There has to be a higher way of life, another way of life. And there is. And it's a life of getting energy from God, or God giving you energy in exchange for. See, what do you have to do now? You have to serve other people, don't you? You have to people please. You have to walk around on eggshells. You don't want to pull the rug out from them, or they'll pull the rug out from you. You have to serve them. Your substance, your time, your life. You can feel the compulsivity of it. You can feel the obligation of it. See, that's all the life you've known, and you've been trained since you were a little child. So now if somebody comes up and they start talking to you, I was sitting in Starbucks the other day, and there was a man who comes in there sometimes, and if anybody says anything to him, he starts talking and he won't stop. Well, a gentleman came and sat down with his newspaper, an elderly gentleman, and accidentally said something to this guy, and the guy started talking. He wouldn't stop, and went on and on. And I was going about my business, doing some writing and some reading, but every so often I would look up, and the guy was talking. And maybe half an hour went by, and I could see that the guy who had sat down, he kept looking at his newspaper and just nodding to the other guy and trying to make the other guy realize he wanted to read. But you see how he was under compulsion. He felt obligated to listen. See, he's been trained all of his life to give to others. And what others demand, they demand your life, your time, your energy. And if you resent them, now listen very carefully. This is very important. If you resent them, if you resent their taking your time, if you resent their intrusion, if you resent them, they take more of your life. When you resent, you give up energy. When you resent, you give up energy to them. So don't resent them. So you have to transfer to God's kingdom. It's that simple. Christ talked about the kingdom of God. He said the kingdom of God is at hand. It's all around you. It's within you and it's all around you. You have to find it because it's a different economy. And it's even a different metabolism for your body. See, your body now has been trained to, you've lived off of stress. Stress, first you needed stress to excite you, to arouse you, to get you motivated, to get you stimulated. And you needed stress, you needed tease and temptation and taunts and torments and praise. And you needed all of that to grow your ego because that's all you had. But then eventually, see, the stress begins to, the tables are turned and then it drains you. But you needed that, so that's all you knew. So what kind of a metabolism that? Is that based on sugar? It's based on adrenaline? It's based on stress. See, a stress-based metabolism. No wonder people end up having diabetes and low energy and all kinds of problems like that. So there has to be another type of energy, and there is. It's called love, and it's from God. So living and moving and having your being without emotions, without reacting to stress, without responding to stress, and giving your life. And without needing life from others. If you get life from God, you won't need their life. See, you don't realize now that a lot of the things that you do them unconsciously. But unconsciously, they're designed to mess up other people's timing, to get them off balance, to confuse them a little bit, to excite them, to anger them, to something to them so that they give off energy, which you take. It builds your ego. It feeds your ego. It feeds your pride. See, not only is it you that now is dependent on this lower way of getting energy, but a pride that got into you. A pride that got into you. Now there's two of you. There's you and that pride. You think it's you. But that pride feeds off of others. And then it feeds off of you. Other people feed off of you. What's in them feeds off of you. Your pride, then you become drained. Your pride demands energy, demands your life. And so your body gives life to it. And then you become depleted, and eventually you're compelled. Just like a thirsty person is compelled to look for water. Or a hungry person is compelled to look for food. You are compelled now to get energy from others. It's kind of a ghoulish existence, but there's a higher way of living and moving and having your being where you're not dependent upon others. You're not dependent on their approval, their love, their reassurances, their false reassurances for your ego. You're not dependent on using them to build your pride, and you don't need them to build your pride. So you no longer react or cause reaction. You are in the world, but not of the world. You have to find that. And the best way I know to get started, to find it, well, first of all you can do is yearn for it. It has to be of God. It has to begin with God. It has to begin with God. But it will. When you yearn for it, yearn for truth. Yearn for what you know in your heart is right. Yearn for the Father you've never known, for something good, for something pure, for something honest. Yearn for a second chance to do things right, see? And then God will answer. He gives you light, and He gives you the meditation, the proper meditation. It has to be a proper meditation where you can stand back and look at thoughts and emotions. And when you stand back, you're a little closer to Him, and He gives you light. And in that light also contains love and insight. You have to start functioning from inside instead of imagination. That's what I said at the beginning of one of my recent videos. Coincidentally, I put 2 videos up on YouTube. Meditation, a little meditation, like 7 minutes, and then some lecture, some commentary, discussion about meditation. I think it's about 12 minutes. The quality, the audio is terrible, just absolutely terrible. I did everything I could They clean it up, but it's still terrible. But the content is so good. If you can listen to it and, get accustomed to it so you can hear it and glean something from it, it would be just great, really good. So, that's all I have to say. Happy Thanksgiving.